you being a minority actor, we're seeing gender and racial swapping. We're seeing an increase in queer representation. What's your take on this evolution? Because people are saying, "Oh, theater has become so woke now. It's just like castings all over the place." What's your take on that? Because you are personally involved in this kind of evolution.
Yeah, I mean, it's a I think, after the pandemic, there was a big um, push to really kind of right the scales. People were realizing that um, things had not changed in certain ways, and people weren't in the rooms that made that change, and there needed to be a kind of revolution in getting people that were underrepresented in those rooms so that new stories and new casting and representation could actually happen and not just be a box that was checked by the people that were constantly, checking those boxes without real meaningful change happening.
Mhm.
So I think that push was made, and I think in many respects it has made a difference. I think to producers and the people kind of in charge, to their credit, I think they many of them made a big uh, an honest attempt to make those changes happen. And I think you see that in certain in many respects. Um, this last couple of years, I've been involved in two shows that really kind of opened my eyes to those things. One was Some Like It Hot, which
Yep.
was
Yeah.
the old movie, but with a modern kind of take
Yeah.
on gender identity, and the way that was met was really interesting because it was met with a lot of skepticism on one hand,
Yep.
because people were looking at this kind of, is it another one of these man in a dress comedies, which we do not need any more of? And other people were like, no, an interesting modern take and telling a story that needs to be told right
Yeah.
now.
Beautifully done.
And
Yeah.
I feel like it landed right in the middle of that, that kind of firebrand discussion of all of that. And in some ways, it was a victim of that, and in other ways, it was kind of a harbinger of that.